Hi everyone, we're the Better World Traveler team, and we're gonna go ahead and introduce ourselves. I'm Mindy. I'm studying ECCS and Visual Media Studies, and I'm class of 2022.
I'm Kyra. I'm a junior studying ECECS and minoring in VMS.
And I'm Matt. I'm a senior studying computer science.
And I'm Blossom. I'm a junior double majoring in computer science and political science and class of 2022.
Hello, my name is Henry. I'm a CS and sociology double major in the class of 2023.
Hi, I'm Matt as well. I'm also a senior and a computer science major.
So, oh, sorry about that. My camera's off. So essential to creating this project, we utilized Mapkit. And what Mapkit is a powerful API available for iOS devices. That makes it easy to display / search for maps, marked locations, longitude and latitude locations. And what this allows us to do is basically based on a search result that the user can implement, it finds the best location according to that search result. So for example, if the search result is Chicago, the best result most likely will be Chicago, Illinois. So it'll allow you to search that location and give you key information on the name, longitude, latitude, and data regarding that location. And this is implemented in our add trip and search buttons when planning the trip, which allows us to easily access this information and implement it into our app.
And so all the app is propped up by a Firebase backend. So we can go into the uses of that right now. So once we decided we were going to be using Firebase, we had to make a decision whether to use Firestore or Firebase's real-time DB. We ended up choosing the former because Firebase is a much newer implementation and allows for a few things such as faster querying, better scaling, and the data model is also a lot more intuitive. Additionally, in future iterations, if we were to build up like a significant user base, we could also add rules to the Firestore DB, and this would allow us to increase the security of our queries and also ensure that users can only access certain data which should be available to them. So this is another huge advantage of Firestore. But with that being said, the first thing that we used Firebase for is user authentication. And this is handled through Firebase authentication. It's a little separate from Firestore, but we have connected the two. So to store the user data, so because the Firebase authentication only stores pretty cursory or information like like the date that the user was created, the email, and like a unique user ID. We also, within our Firestore, we created a collection, a user collection. And so using the user email as a key, we then are able to pair those two data sets. And so we can store some other information such as first name or last name. The next collection would be the trips collection. And this is probably the most important one in the entire app. Each document within our trips collection is a trip with a random ID. And first, it contains two arrays, a coordinates array and then a destination names array. And the indices of these are paired. So the first set of coordinates maps to the first destination name. And then we also have things such as the email, which we use to figure out who created what trips. And then we also use that as well on the friends page as well. So you can see which trips your friends created, and then end dates, start dates, some notes on the trip, and then finally a trip name. And the last collection is our friends collection. Similar to the trips page, each document or the trips collection, each document here has a randomized ID, but the only fields are the two emails of the users who are friends. And that's about it.
So now we're going to kind of switch into our actual app demo. So if Kyra and Mindy, you guys want to take, or actually, I guess I can start. Let me rerun this really quick and just start with login. So like Matt was saying, when you first open the app, the launch view controller has a login and sign up button. So if you don't have an account, you can click the sign up button, which will pop up in a second, and you can create an account. I already have an account, so I'm just going to log in to my account. And this connects with that authentication on Firebase. And if it's successful, it'll log you in. And so now Kyra and Mindy, if you guys want to take over the planned trips component.
Yep. So because our app lets you track your world travels, the first page here is a trips page where you can keep track of which trips you've been on and what countries you've been on in that trip, or cities. So here on the main view page, you can search for the trip name or any location inside the trip, and it should pop up. It also displays the start and end dates of your trip, as well as additional notes if you click into the trip. So clicking here, you'll see a list of destinations of the cities that are part of the trip, but you can also edit the trip. And here, it will just import all the data for that trip, and then you can modify it and save any changes that you've made.
And if you go back to the original screen of all the trips, you can click the add button, which adds a new trip that includes trip name. We used a search bar that makes requests from Mapkit. So if you type in a destination, you can add that using, and that shows up in a table view. You can click start and end dates, and you can add notes. And as soon as you click save, we use an unwind segue. And so that goes back to the original plan your trips page.
Blossom, if you want to get into to places now.
Yeah, so the map screen allows the user to add all the locations that they have visited, which you can sort of see here. You could search a city such as, I don't know if you search Miami, Florida. And using the search text which we see on the front end, we initiate a Mapkit API request call that finds the best matching location, which obviously is the real Miami in Florida. And with that, we're able to extract the coordinates and the address of the MK place mark, which is the data that holds the pin information. And after we stored this data, the app places pointers on the map, which we see. And there's also a clear all search button so that the user can clear all the locations that they visited. And this is because functionality for editing and removing like wish list locations or locations that the user plans to visit already exists on the edit trip screen.
And then I'll take over when it comes to community. Matt and I worked on this together as well, alongside with the Firebase backend component. But essentially, when you first click on community, you get a view of all the other users that you're following, and you can search through based on first or last name, and it'll show them for you. If you click into them, then it will show you their map. So you can see Mindy. I guess this added the wrong London, but you can see her trips. She has Paris. If you look at this is kind of the same functionality as the Mapkit that Blossom was just talking about. You can click on the pin, it'll show you what the trip is about and the location. And additionally, if you want to add new users, so I'm not currently following Blossom. If I go to this follow new page, I can click on Blossom, and then it'll add her to my following. And now I can click into her map and see the trips that she has planned, such as San Francisco and whatever else.
Awesome. That is our app. Thank you for watching, and we'll take questions and answers now.